Okay, hello, welcome to my new moon in Virgo reading. I haven't done a reading since the full moon in Aquarius. I should do more. Hopefully I will. I just do readings when I feel called to do so. And yesterday was the actual new moon. So today I'm just going to read the energies. Any general message that wanted to come out. And then once I'm done with the general, I'm going to move on to more specific messages. And if people show up with their questions, I will answer their questions live on stream. But if not, I'll just do specific little messages for a possible future watcher. Okay, so, first general message. The deck I am using today is the Tarot of the Unknown. Okay, Tarot of the Unknown. I need to, okay, this is, okay. By, what was his name? Something Smith. Chris Smith. By Chris Smith. Okay. This deck is inspired by Over the Garden Wall. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. I got it on Etsy. Okay, general messages. I'm gonna wind down a little bit so I can focus. Okay. Tarot of the Unknown. Okay, happy new moon in Virgo. Spirit guides, angels. Please tell us what we need to hear for the start of this month. Just general. What do we need to know? What should we keep our eyes open for this month as our manifestations come in? As we use the Virgo energies, what is something we need to know in order to make this our best timeline? One more card. Or should I pull it later? Oh, okay. Okay. That'll come into play later. Alright. Move this out of the way. Okay. I'll just pull out the cards and I don't really follow any kind of formation. Like, this card is this, past, future. I just go with a pattern and it tells me a story. The pattern doesn't feel quite right, but I'm just gonna move it around as I talk. Okay, so first we have the Hierophant. And we have the Six of Swords. We have the Empress. We have the King of Axes, which is the King of Swords in this deck. Knight of Pentacles. And then eventually I'll get into the Nine. Oh no, so that's Cups. Nine of Cups. Okay, general message for the Virgo New Moon. Maybe this. Oh, there's something twisted. Anyway, okay, so Virgo New Moon. The first chunk of cards that I saw were these two, the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So it's very. Oh, hold on. Let me study these for a sec. It's slow moving. Like everything is slow moving. Also, that's not the Six of Swords. It's like, wait a minute. This one snuck in. Okay, hold on. That's interesting. Honestly, everything is a sign once the reading starts. So, I mean, there could be something sneaky. I'll get into that in a sec. But Six of Swords, slow moving forward. Slow moving. Like, it's deliberate. It's powerful. It's positive. It's royalty powerful. Like, it's divinely... You're being divinely guided, and it's not just secret ways that are going on behind the scenes. It's more like whether there's a person in your life, whether you're spiritual and you're getting the guidance already, or you have a mentor or a teacher or a parent you trust, or just, someone you look up to is giving you good advice and pushing you towards a better future, and you're following it. Like, I feel like this reading is just confirmation of you're going the right way. And yes, it is going to be slow, but you're like, I know that. I know it's going to be slow. We planned for this. This is part of the deal. This is just how things move. So everything feels in place. Everything feels like, okay, set up, we got the tickets, we're on the boat, we're going, and it's just going to take this long for this boat to get there, because that's how boats work, I'm not going to be throwing a fit because the boat's taking the 3-day journey it said it would, So you're just sitting back as this boat's going through. So the energy, essentially, if you're confused, the advice is to sit back, enjoy the journey. Allow Empress energy, embody Empress energy. There's not so much go, do. It's like, we did it. We did the work that we needed to do in order for the boat to go, and now we're on the boat. So you made the boat. Great. There might be a castaway. I don't know if that's relevant to you, but there's a sneaky something on the boat. Could be a cool sneaky something. I don't know. But it's something you definitely didn't notice when you got on the boat. But it's on the boat now. That's interesting. So it could be something positive if this is what this card's talking about. We got the Nine of Cups, which talks about a wish fulfillment, like just something you wanted, you're getting. It's not the Ten of Cups where it's everything you ever wanted and more. It's like you got what you wished for. It seems like it's a positive thing. They're all upright. Everything's upright, so everything is going smoothly. You followed the advice. It's going smoothly. You're being deliberate, taking your time, and it's going to be fruitful, abundant. It's going to be what you wanted. So what's this sneaky thing? What snuck on the boat? What snuck on the boat? Interesting. Should I just pull this card out, or is there anything else you wanted to say about the sneaky thing? Okay. It's a little underwhelming. Okay. So it does kind of sound like, just wait and see. Okay, so we got the Four of Swords. And then we have, more clarification, the Three of Wands. Which, well, I guess it's not the two. The two is more like sit and wait. But it is another, it's a slow burn, you know, like, it's not like there's going to be some kind of tower because something snuck on. It's just, I'm getting a couple of things with the Four of Swords. Could be that, like, you're gonna get a dream that helps you with a first step. It has to do with a sneaky thing. Strategy. Okay. Yeah, okay, so if this card, for you, if this card resembles more of, like, planning ahead strategy, it's like you're gonna get a dream that has a message of how to make a first step in something. Maybe like your first step off the boat, so to speak. So you're gonna get a dream that's gonna give you even more guidance. So I feel like that might be the biggest message. Like, most people are gonna resonate with that. Like, this is just actually strategy, not really sneakiness. It's like, yeah. Figuring out the first step off the boat. But something sneaky on the boat is more interesting. That's just me. Okay, well, for those fewer who are like, I don't know about, okay, fine, I'll have a dream that tells me what to do once I'm off the boat, but what's the thing that snuck on that I didn't notice? What's something that they didn't notice when this energy started? Also, is Mercury direct now? Because it could be that, like, that was the getting on the boat. That was the, oh, I finally made it on the boat, you know? Mercury retrograde's over and I can just finally chill. Or other planets. I don't know too much about the actual planets, but there is some kind of, like, energy shift for calmer waters. You're finally in calmer waters. But in that process of doing so, something snuck. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I feel like the worst thing it could be is an annoying thing, but it's not gonna, you know, teeter the boat too much. So what is this sneaking thing? What's this? The sun slightly popped out for a second, but didn't fall out. So it's a positive thing, I think. A fun thing, at least. What is this sneaking energy that snuck you by? An idea? World popped out? Okay, can I just get one card of clarification to flesh out both sides of this story? Okay, that's Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so if there was some kind of sneaky energy, it really does feel like wait and see. What goes up must come down. Like, it feels like I'm imagining, like, you're getting on a boat and, like, everything's going fine, and someone else gets on the boat that's like a plot twist, or like, like, oh, they're on the same boat, you know. I mean, they're not gonna tell you who that was. So we just know, due to context clues in the way the story is told, that it was something sneaky. Someone snuck on the boat. And we don't yet know who this person is to the main character. I don't know. That's just how my brain is working. But yeah, it's something that's, like, gonna make a story complete. It's gonna help things fall into place more, you know, enrich the story. It's not just a boat ride. It's a boat ride with a story. Yeah. So, I guess in general, this month it's very much like, or at least the start of this month of this new moon is have the energy of receiving, absorbing. Sit back. But it's like a deliberately sit back. You're not rushing around and wasting your energy. You're taking the precautions. You're in the map room, planning the course, or just watching the course. We already made the course. We already know where we're going. But now you're looking at the maps of maybe the land you're gonna land at. Like, oh well, I guess I could first start here. I mean, it kind of feels like you already have an itinerary. Like, you already know what you're gonna do. Maybe you're gonna have a dream to see what that looks like. So you'll be like, yeah, this feels right because this happened in my dream, which would be super cool. That's always fun. Very chill Virgo New Moon. Nice. Nice. Queen of Cups. Did you just fall out or did you have something to say? Cool. Is that it? Hopefully that was just confirmation, because it feels like it's just, you know it, you want it, you good. You the queen, you the empress, you the king of swords, logical, grounded. And that's very, Virgo earth sign, precise, precision, grounded. Gather it all back up. And they're not okay. Sort A to Z. Okay. Now I will move on to the smaller readings. The 3-card readings. 3-card readings. And I will also use another deck for that. I'll probably use the Velvet Garden Wall deck again in the other 2 or 3. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I'm going to use both my decks I brought here. Okay. This one is called Forest of Enchantment Tarot by Lunea Weatherstone. Yes, and it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful deck. One of those fairy tale stories where you could tell the artist is like, classically trained. I don't know, it's just really cool. Man, they put a lot of work in this. Okay. So, 3-card readings. These are just going to be random little specific messages for anyone who hears it. Maybe this one will resonate. Maybe that one will resonate. Maybe I should do... I don't know. I didn't bring any stones with me today. So... Okay. General little messages, or they're not really general. Specific messages for someone who needs to hear them. Alright, Spirit, guide my hand. Somebody needs to hear something. Jeez. Okay. So this might be specific for multiple people, but there is someone in mind who I personally know, who I think needs to hear this message. I don't know. They popped into my head, so I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm going to try and not be biased. I'm going to just try and give them an actual reading later today, actually. But wouldn't it be funny if they find this video at some point? Okay. So, reading for a person. Let's see, did they have a specific question, or is it just the energies? Oh, they're scared. There's something about this energy that's scared. And that's what they won't admit. Because I was going to say they don't want the reading. No, they don't want to admit that they really want the reading because they're just really scared. And they think the reading is cool. But they're actually, like, terrified of what's going on. So whoever is hearing this reading, it's something you're scared about. The anxiety deep, not just, ooh, that's scary, like spooky. Like the thing that's giving you a pit in your stomach, that's what this reading's about. And it's kind of a fear thing where you're like, I don't know what to ask. I'm just scared. I'm just scared. What do I do? Is there anything for me? Do I need, it's just, you're just scared. So if you're scared about something, this is for you. Listen to your body. You're not ready to hear that yet. Like, it's not gonna hit properly if I just start lecturing on fear right now. Okay, alright. What does this person need to hear? May they be guided through grounded logic and care and calmness and love and light, and be held, properly be held by spirit. Okay, what do they need to hear? Oh, that's so funny. Thriller's playing. That's funny. A little worrisome. But that's funny. A version of Thriller's playing. I didn't even know that I had that. Spotify's doing that thing where it's playing random music that I didn't pick because I definitely did not add that song. Which is interesting, so we could think about that. That's a message in itself. It didn't even play the whole song. I understood what the song was and then it ended. So that's a sign. Something about Thriller, or maybe it's just saying, yeah, they're scared. And it's making them feel like, what's going on? This is supposed to be like my fall chill playlist, and now you're putting on scary music. And now it's just getting creepy. That's hilarious. That's so fun. Oh my god. Okay, well, sorry. Everything is a sign. Everything is a drum. Okay, because there's something about the fear is kind of like, it brings you back to childhood. Oh, that's dark. After the whole, Jesus. If it's something that serious, I'm sorry. Just, the whole Michael Jackson thing. Because there's something about this fear that is like maybe something you only felt in childhood. God. Okay. Jesus. 3 cards. 2 more. 2 more cards. Let's get this message on the road. I'm like getting shaky. This is interesting. Okay, did I end this song? I did not. I'm gonna skip it. I don't like it. There we go. Jesus. Okay, back to safety. 2 of challenges, which in this deck is swords, I believe. I always get these fancy decks where it's some fancy name and the pictures don't really match up. Okay. Challenges is swords, right? Yes, yeah, it's swords. Challenges, been swords. Challenges is swords, so we have 2 of swords. Two of swords. The Folly, which is the tower, and it is a very spooky card. in this deck. And we have the Weaver of Visions, which is the... that's the Queen of Cups, right? This deck. Okay, hold on. Mountain Child. Seeker, Weaver, Keeper. Okay, Weaver is Queen, yes. Weaver of Cups. Okay, so something about the saving grace being a feminine energy. Motherly energy. Okay, so this kind of spells it out. So Two of Swords. In this deck, Two of Challenges, which depicts a man looking in a magical mirror and seeing himself. And it's... he looks surprised. But it's just himself. Like, it looks like an accurate depiction. I guess it's just because it's a floating magical mirror in a forest. That song from Oingo Boingo started playing in my head, which is another kind of spooky band. Who do you want to be today? Who do you want to be? Because it's about making decisions. Two of Swords. What are you choosing? What direction are you choosing? Because that can be a very anxious card of like, what do I do? What do I choose? Who am I? Who am I? Your trauma is not who you are. It just makes our animal brains go, ah, when we remember. And then the Tower. Things falling apart and crumbling. And then... the Tower in this deck is it's like a giant house made out of a tree, but it's falling apart because, you know, the story is some rich a-hole hollowed the tree out to make a house, then just left it for ruin, and now it's falling apart and there's like crows coming out of it. But hey, the crows made a home out of it, so that's nice. But maybe that's a sign of like the horrible things that happened. Someone still made a home out of it. Like when we deal with something truly terrible, horrible, we have, you know, it's there. We have to. It's, you know, not everyone can be so lucky and have it locked away in your psyche and you don't remember anything, but you still have to live with it. You still have to live with what happened. You have to remember, like, oh no, yeah, it's whether it was anybody's fault or not, or an accident or whatever. It's that memory's still there. And I feel like that's where the fear is coming from. Like whatever's happening now is maybe just triggering that, whether it's, you know, not the same thing is happening, because, you know, the same thing isn't happening. It's just something about what's happening is making your brain go, something's happening. It's, you know, it's happening. Is this who I am? Is this who I've become because of this? Can I change? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's okay. You're just feeling fear, and that's okay. Like that's, you know, it's just something that's gonna happen, and it always passes. It always passes. So give yourself a breath, give yourself a day or two or a month or a year, you know? That's the thing about the Queen of Cups. She is the patience. Emotional. She's compassionate. She's emotionally present. She knows how the water flows through the brain. You know, like she's grounded in her own way. It's not like she'll cry with you and she knows that you're sad and is just this super sensitive lady. No, it's like she understands how the movement of emotions. She understands how they move. And so her logic is emotions, which is extremely powerful, super empathetic, super, hello, welcome, super present with you. And this could be an actual feminine energy in your life, doesn't actually have to be a woman. It could be a spirit guide, it could be an ancestor, an angel, but there's some kind of feminine energy that is with you through this. And you're feeling fear, and she's not going to tell you, don't be scared, because, like, that's how your brain is. You're scared right now. You're scared right now, and that's okay. Yes, possibly. Once I finish this one, I can do 3 card pulls. And if you would like, you can leave a little tip in my Ko-fi link down in my about description. Anyway, so yeah, there's this fear that maybe you're afraid that, like, this is who I am because of this trauma that you've had to deal with. But no, you've survived. And you're right, there's more to surviving. It really depends on what you went through. It really depends on what you're going through now. Okay, that's going to be different for everybody. And there's a way to solve every different issue, because it's every single thing that someone's gone through. There's no universal, like, well, if you've been through this trauma, you should do this. It really depends on your brain. And you just have to find out who you really are. And that's just having patience to allow yourself to be. You already are who you are meant to be. You already are someone. You don't have to make any choices. That's the thing. You don't have to make any choices. You just are who you are. And you just need to allow yourself to sit back in order to hear your real self come through. So if you're feeling fear, that's okay. That's normal. Allow yourself to process it. And then once the dust settles, then your true self can come through. And that can be tough. It can be a sharp experience. It can be emotional. It can be very tearful. It can feel very ungrounded, because especially if you don't know, or if you haven't been with yourself in a long time, it's going to feel ungrounded for a while. And don't be surprised. Like, don't be harsh on yourself. Don't be judgmental. Don't, things will just need to fall into place. And that could be a little tumultuous if you've been running for a long time, because you might need to make a lot of changes, and that might be what's stressing you out. But just know you're not alone. You're not going to be alone. You're only going to become more authentic as time goes by, no matter what you're going through, no matter if you're even ready to allow yourself to be. It's only going to get better. So yeah. I think that's kind of the general message for that one. Yeah. My brain shut down, so I think that's it. I think that's it. That's it for now. Cool. I hope that was helpful. And I wish the best for you. You're cared for and loved. Okay? Okay. Someday you'll hear that. Like, properly. Like, I don't mean, like, from someone else. I mean, like, you'll hear what I'm saying. Like, you'll understand what I'm saying at some point. Okay. That was first message, and now we move on. Oh, that one shook me up. That one spooked me. That one was interesting. Okay. Gather again. So, Jing, did you have a question for me? Sweet. Did you have a question? What is your question? Isaac Thing. I'm guessing that's a username. Oh, think. Sorry. Does Isaac think or feel about you? Okay, so I'm gonna do a 3-card pull. Okay, Spirit. Now, Spirit, are you going to be honest about this? You got to be honest about this. Because I know how you get when it comes to relationship questions. Okay, okay, Spirit, please tell us the truth. Please tell what Jing needs to hear. The truth. Please help guide them to their highest timeline. And get them the information they need. Interesting. So the song that's playing is an Over the Garden Wall song. But I did want to use this deck. Maybe I'll... Should I mix them? No. But maybe there's something about Over the Garden Wall that's relevant. Let's see. Okay. 3 cards. 3 cards for Jin. One more big shuffle. Okay. 3 cards. Okay. Jesus. Is that the card that wants to stay? Sorry, I have cards flying everywhere. Hold on. Okay. Alright, I'll keep that one. Okay, 3 cards. We have this. Okay, this was literally the first question. The first card that came out. Because tarot's like this. 2 of Cups. So there you go. But we're gonna get into it. 6 of Challenges. 6 of Swords. Of Spells, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay. This is a limited scope with only 3 cards, but... Okay, so... The only thing that you're not seeing just with this deck, so 2 of Cups, it's 2 people looking at each other, that's normal for 2 of Cups. For the 6 of Challenges, though, in this deck, it's depicted by a lady who's stuck in a tree, and there's wolves at the bottom of it. She's safe, but she's like, I just got out of this dangerous situation, or, you know, I'm in a safe area right now, but there's danger around her. Which I guess you can also depict that if you're afraid of, you know, the ocean. And then the Seeker of Spells, it's a lady doing magic and making flowers bloom. So what does Isaac think and feel? The only thing that worries me is that Spirit will do this. You know? They tell you sometimes what you want to hear. But maybe... But that, I'm trying to, like, that's just me, though, right? Like, can I get out of this? I need to focus on the reading, not my opinions. What does Isaac think? I do hope you feel romantic for this Isaac, because I think it's romantic. It's... It's so difficult to do a love reading with only three 3 cards, because it feels like a very limited scope. Like I'm not getting the whole picture. I mean, sometimes I can get the whole picture, like with the last reading. So, okay, maybe that's where Over the Garden Wall comes in, with the song that was playing earlier. If you know what Over the Garden Wall is, then maybe this will make more sense. Because it's kind of like, okay, well, first of all, have you seen Over the Garden Wall? Like, do you know what that is? The show Over the Garden Wall? Oh, hello. Okay. Well, here, this is, first of all, go watch it, it's amazing. And 2, Over the Garden Wall, the way the story is depicted, it's you are thrown into something and you think the story is one way, but it's another way. Like, it's not just another way, it's just I don't want to spoil anything. You should watch it. It's good. It's not a love story. Well, maybe it is. Okay, because it does feel like all these cards kind of feel like everything you want to hear. And I really hope that's not spirit holding your hand, because I'm all about the truth. I'm all about, even if it's tough, it's good to hear what you need to hear now than later when it'll hurt more. So, but it doesn't feel like there's any like huge underlying secret negative twist. It's just, there's definitely more to this. But there's definitely, I mean, if I just read the cards plainly, Isaac feels connected to you. Isaac feels toward you. It could be a kind of passion. It could be unconditional love, as this card says. It could be motivated. Like, I think Isaac might be motivated by you in some way. Yes. Once I'm done giving them a reading, I can pull you 3 cards. But give me a sec. So, because I feel like that might be the main thing. They feel motivated by you. They feel motivated to do something better because of you, if that makes sense. They feel motivated to continue this journey. And that also doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be they feel connected and they feel like inspired by you in some way. But there's definitely more. I don't know if watching Over the Garden Wall would help, but it's worth a watch. Feel. Yeah, that's... because there's definitely water in these cards, but the only cups are the 2. I don't know. I did... I mean... because I mean, this Isaac guy... I'm feeling blocked by it. Like, I'm feeling blocked. Like, he's... I don't know if he's going through something, or... like, it's like his guides are like, this area is under construction. You know what I mean? It's... I think, being a human being, he's definitely capable of feelings, but, it could be the classic story, like, oh, a dude who doesn't know how to feel his feelings only understands action and motivation, and so he feels motivated and action, but isn't in touch with his emotions, which is boring to me. I'm sorry. That's me. Because with the 6 of Swords card, with the 6 of Challenges, and like the woman hiding from the... okay, this could be it. This could be it, because maybe, so I know everyone has feminine and masculine energies, and if this Isaac guy has lived, you know, surrounded by toxic masculinity, yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean that could be it. Like, I feel like there's something about his emotions or feminine energy that he's kind of locked away. Like in this card, it's the lady hiding from a bunch of wolves, but I think those are his wolves. Like he's like, no, 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 I cannot. Mm. He's telling himself he can't be feminine, like in an energetic way. I don't mean like a woman. I mean he's not allowing his feminine energy, which does block certain emotions. In fact, you know, you need both in order to get a balance in, you know, your whole body and mind. But I think he thinks motivation is emotion. Yeah, in that case, that's probably it. Like, he feels as much as he can, which is probably not emotions. Like, he just doesn't know what that is yet. It's not because he doesn't feel for you, it's that he doesn't know what that is. I think he feels motivated by you. I think he feels, you know, passionate towards you. But will he cry over you? I don't think he knows what that means yet. You know? He's locked a part of himself away, and it's under construction. Like there might be something he's violent about toward himself, not actual physically, just he has locked something away inside himself. But what he does feel towards you is positive. So, yeah. Of what feelings he has, that's up to spirit on that one. That's up to what you deserve, and that's up to what he deserves. But so far, it's a good start. I feel like there's a lot of men out there where it starts like this. It starts passionate. It starts motivation, and if maybe like, yeah, I don't think he knows what emotions are. You know, I feel like the fact that he feels motivated by you, I think would be a big deal in his head. So I think he thinks you're a big deal to him. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a good start. If you're sticking around for 10 years, it means you know, he likes having you around. So that's a good sign. But it seems passionate. Like, you know. I mean, you know, it's a man riding on a horse with a big stick. You know what I'm saying? Well, just like you mean something in this life. Like if anyone motivates a man to do anything, that's a big deal. If he didn't care about you, he wouldn't do anything because of you. You know what I mean? The fact that he does something because of you, that's a big deal. That's what I'm getting, is that he is motivated by you. It's just emotions wise, don't expect him to understand why he's crying. You know what I mean? If he ever's crying, he might freak out. He might not know how to deal with that. Yeah. You know, just take the wins where you can. If a man's motivated by you, you have an effect. You have an effect on his life. Yeah. But if you want some, I mean, the thing about this is, like, there's a lot of men in this world who are like this. Like, there's a lot of married men who go through life like this and just don't even. Men just need therapy. This guy just needs therapy. Yeah, I don't know. He might not be emotionally, but that might be fine. He can honestly go through life like this. which drives me nuts. But, you know, it's possible. So he feels positively towards you. He feels motivated by you. I feel like for love, I guess it depends on what you define love as. Because that can be complicated. Can he love without understanding what love is? We're getting into psychology now. Yeah. I guess that depends on what you think love is. Yeah. Yeah, there could be some emotional blockage. Because, like, if he is blocking his feminine energy, he's blocking feminine energy. Which means he won't get a girlfriend. Or at least people who identify as a feminine energy. So he just needs to work on his feminine energy. Then he'll be capable of love. And then he might realize what he needs in love, which could be you, which, you know, see what it is. But I think he needs to figure some stuff out in himself to really be able to love. But from these cards, it's I'd probably go so far as to say he's attracted to you. He's attracted to you, he's motivated by you, and if he emotionally develops, that can easily turn into love. Just, you know, naturally. Yeah. Yeah. Classic. Classic dude. Well, I hope that helped. I hope that, you know, at least was confirmation that he has positive feelings for you. Yep. Okay. I think I'm gonna move on to back to the Over the Garden Wall Tarot. Oh. Sure. You're welcome. But let me make oh, who was it? Wilma, are you still there? You're welcome. Wilma, did you still have a question? Yes. What is your question, Wilma? All right. Cool. Cool. Let's see. General message for Wilma. What does Wilma need to hear? Spirit, Wilma's guides, angels. What does Wilma need to hear today? What is something that Wilma just needs to come through? Or... Three cards, please. What does Wilma need to hear? Just channel what comes through. What does Wilma need to hear? Those two flip down. Okay. What's Wilma need to hear? Okay, so the cards that came out were the Five of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Lovers. Okay. Lovers. stay out of drama. Is the main thing coming through. Like that kind of feels like the big message, the big general, stay out of drama. But let's get more deets. Why you should stay out of drama. There's something with the lovers, it feels less about another person and more about internal connection, more balance between all sides of yourself. Um, and I feel like if you do get sucked into drama, it's not actually gonna like hurt you in any way. It's just gonna maybe delay some kind of connection, like something to click into place. It will eventually, like no matter what. It's just might delay it. So if there is drama that shows up around you, maybe it's best to sit it out. Like I'd feel like someone's gonna piss you off. Like there's whether it's happening or oh sorry, I just read my yeah. Yeah, I knocked it a few times before I did the shuffles. But it does feel like someone's going to really stick a thorn in your side, and it's gonna really bother you. Yeah. But your advice is to just be like, okay, keep your distance from those people. You know, go out for a walk, sit under a tree, connect with something you care about, connect with nature. If you like going outside, that would probably be the fastest and cleanest way to feel grounded is to just go outside. But I'm thinking maybe friends. I don't know. Family, I feel like I don't know. I'm getting this feeling that you're gonna like maybe go to family for advice on how to deal with something happening, and they're not gonna be helpful in some way. Like they're either not gonna take it seriously or care, or like they'll be like, oh, it'll clear up by itself, and you'll be like, that's not good advice. Like that's not true. um Yeah, no, it's true. But I feel like your family's inaction might be what bothers you. Like people are gonna I don't know, I feel like people are just gonna bother you. Um like maybe your friends are doing something little silly. Yeah, true. Um but it does yeah, it feels like trust yourself. Like focus on yourself, focus on the things that ground you. Focus on making sure you feel grounded. And if that means leaving the people to deal with whatever they're doing, like even if they're being whiny babies about it, you gotta let them figure it out. You gotta sit under your tree, you know, go read your books, go play your games, go watch your shows, go do your crafts, go do your chores, go do your stuff for you, stuff that takes care of you. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Um, I hope that's a good thing. I hope that's resonating. But it does feel like whatever you do for yourself will help ground you and make some kind of connection in your own life, in your own mind, in your own spiritual practice. Your connection with spirit. If you give yourself space from the drama, um, things will come together. Yeah, don't let the people get to you. It really is about focusing on yourself right now. Yeah. Focus on your connection with spirit. It's always good. Allow the messages to come to you from yourself or spirit, not other people. Maybe someone's gonna try and really push advice on you, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna get my source of information elsewhere. Thanks. Yeah. Find balance in yourself. I think that's it. Yeah, connecting with yourself. It's your main advice. Making sure you're okay and feeling safe emotionally. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for your general, what you needed to hear. You're welcome. Okay. Was there anyone else in the chat that had a question? Because if not, I will just do another little, just general reading for a future watcher if they needed a specific little message. So I will shuffle a little bit. Wait to see. To answer the first question, I got into tarot. I got into tarot 2018? Late 2018? Or was it 19? 2019, I think. I just, there's a lot of things going on. I had a spiritual awakening. I could not escape it. It was following me everywhere I went. My right ear is ringing. So, I just, I got into spiritual stuff. Tarot was my main big spiritual thing that I did or watched. And then I started collecting decks, and then I started doing readings for family and friends, and then everyone was like, you should just do this. So I'm like, okay. So I started streaming, sometimes do readings. I have my little Instagram, I do readings. But yeah, just slowly growing. I had my big spiritual awakening in 2019. And I've never been the same since. I never will be, because I'm constantly changing. But, you know how it is. What's coming up for you in the upcoming month? So, at some point, I mean, I'll do another little card pull, but at the beginning of this video, when I upload it, which you can, replay, I did a general for like this new moon of this start of the month's energy, which might be helpful. It was generally about being in the receiving mode of energy, feminine energy, was the gist. But let's get more specific in your life. What is upcoming for Jing? Now, the fun thing about these readings is, while I may be doing specific readings for the people currently in my chat, energies overlap. So if there is any future watcher that's like, oh, this is for them, not for me, the fact that I'm streaming it live means that multiple people can get little messages out of it. Like, maybe most of it will resonate for the person I'm reading for, but there still might be messages in there for you because you're here watching this. If you're here watching it, Spirit has guided you here somehow. Of course, feel it in your gut. I'm not just telling you, watch my videos, but if you're like, hey, maybe, then maybe. But if you're like, no, please stop, then no, maybe not. Maybe not this one. Maybe the next one. Okay. So, what is upcoming for Jing in this month? What's gonna happen in this month? That's too many. Neither, however, one of those is in my top 3. So yeah, my rising sign is Leo, so yeah, me coming off as Leo is good on you. Good eye. Alright, so what is upcoming? Fortune. Also, I'm drinking coffee, so that could make me more Leo-esque. Thanks. Let's look. Cards. Just 3 cards, please. Spirit guides, what's upcoming this month for Jane? 3, that's 2. Okay, 1 more card. What is upcoming? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Positive. We have the Fool. We have Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Page of Cups. Guess it depends on what you mean by going. Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so the Greg Queen of Wands, Page of Cups. This next month. So I mean, it does talk about a new start. Let me study this. Yeah, more self-discovery. That's okay. Getting to know yourself. Because for me, the Page of Cups is the identity card. It's knowing who you are emotionally, learning what your values are, learning what you care about. And the Fool being the first step in a journey, having hopeful mentality. I mean, it's definitely positive energy. Nothing is reversed. Everything is warm, you know? She's essentially the Queen of Fire. This is emotional growth. Emotional growth this month for you. A summery attitude at the beginning of fall. I mean, yeah, just falling more into power. Like it's I'm getting the feeling that it's gonna be kind of a chill month. Like it's It's maybe you're starting a new passion. Like, but it's gonna be something that you just, I don't know, like you find a new show you really like, you know what I mean? It's, which can have an effect on your personality later. You know, it's just little things. Integrating into who you are. You know, you're gonna find things that help integrate into who you are this month, which is kind of something that we do all the time. So yeah, it doesn't seem like anything big, nothing super big, unless the only big thing I could think could be happening is like I was gonna say that if something big was gonna happen, it would be maybe job related. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be an offer, but maybe you're gonna realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I deserve a raise or something like that, or I deserve this project, or I deserve I should do this. Like this, I feel motivated to do this because it feels like something I'm ready to do. Like a new, not a whole new job, but like something in the job that's new. And it's going to be kind of a leadership role kind of a thing, in charge of something. And you feel ready for it. Like it does feel internal. Like you're just going to feel ready for something. You're going to feel powerful. Okay. Well, it's probably that. You feel ready for it because you already have it. So that's why I feel like it's not going to be anything like surprise. It's just general progress this month, general growth, general figuring out how you feel about it. You'll be keeping the job. That's nice. Yeah. Pretty chill month. I mean, it's positive. You're gonna feel good about it. You're gonna feel good about this job, I think. Give you a little skip in your step. So that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's chill. Maybe not chill, but it's warm. In a positive way. Sunny disposition. Yeah. Positive attitude. Keep a positive attitude. Yeah. That's my advice. Just keep a positive attitude. Well, I hope that was confirmation for you. Okay. Ooh, I am starting to feel the sleepies, so you're welcome. Trying to think. I'm gonna do another little reading that a future watcher will resonate with, because I feel like there is a question that wanted to be asked, but they're just not in the chat. Let's see. I think it might be. Let's see. Hey, Spirit, what does someone need to hear? It feels like someone wants to hear something, but what? What does someone need to hear? Feels like someone who's very headstrong. Maybe a feminine energy? I don't know if they're actually a woman, though. Or if they are, they're a masculine energy. Something like that. What's the message that someone needs to hear, Spirit? Final card. This is taking my energy. Okay. Oof. Alright, so this general message for a possible future watcher. We have the Seven of Cups, Temperance, And the Three of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, because that's something. There's red. I was noticing the red in the cards. Which could just be a lucky color. Maybe wear that. Maybe wear that red top. Wear red. That red scarf. Red pants. That's cool. Like, it's something that feels stressful, but it feels stressful to me. Like, as in, like, oh, that's a big deal. But to you, future watcher, it's like, well, you know, what do they say? I don't know, I'm trying to, like, it feels like you do big projects, you do big things that are like, maybe it's like architecture. Like, I mean, this is the architecture card of like someone building something together. This can be the like teamwork, but I'm getting architecture, like someone actually does architecture or something, and it's like, well, yeah, this is our project for the new building that's going to be in this city, blah blah blah, or something like that. It doesn't have to be so big scale, but it's something that would stress me out. But you're like, oh, I got this. No, I've been doing this. I'm skilled, and I know what I'm doing. But you want to make a decision about something that you're like, well, there's a lot of choices, blah blah blah. Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe it's a business deal. Some kind of business deal. And you're like, well, I need to figure out what this is, so I guess I'll see if this tarot reading has any input. Which one to choose? And you already trust yourself. You already know what a good choice is, but some of these things you don't know is a good choice until after you've made it. So, what is the right choice for this business, for this project? And I do kind of get the feeling where you're like, oh yeah, of course, teamwork, of course, but I'm the one making the decision and then telling everyone what's a good idea so that they actually do it. So it's kind of up to you. But and you have time to figure it out. It's not like you're rushing. So that's good. It's always good to think it out. So what is the right choice? Really depends. Maybe you're thinking of location. Who to put on the team. Trying to think if there's anything I can actually say that would be helpful, especially because I don't know what the project is, and what would I know anyway? Interest. Okay. Okay, what's a good way to help you figure out what to choose? Because that's the issue. There's just multiple to choose from. It depends on what. Okay, so in my head, I'm imagining an architect thinking about like a style or a certain thing, a certain way to make a room. I don't know. I don't know anything about architecture, but it's almost like it's a design thing, not so much like I understand the structure, I understand you know what to do for the plumbing, whatever. but there's something about the design where you're like, okay, what's the vibe though? Like, what are we going for? You want to go for the style that obviously matches the client. And of course, this can be used for anything, any business, any marketing, because this feels business related. And you seem like a really powerful person in this situation. Like, you're the one that makes the decisions. But you want to think about longevity, not just what looks good now in modern day. You want something that will be like, okay, what's something that will be useful today and still look good in 50 years, something that isn't too niche, I guess, isn't too stylistic. Like, it is good to be different and new, but you also don't want people to go, man, what were they thinking? Like, this, yeah, sure, it was cool, I guess, but this is not. But you also don't want to be too cut, clean, dry, boring to the point where they're like, was there even an architecture? Like an architect to make this. You still want a little artistic touch, but something that makes sense, both useful wise and design. Like, when something like that is made, like where it looks good and actually the design actually helps the quality of life, that shit's going to be appreciated for as long as we're humans, you know what I mean? So something that a human would appreciate. So whatever the decision you have to make, it's something that's gonna be cool and useful. Not just for style, and not just for utility. If you can swing that. I mean, everyone has a different style, but I feel like the style is sleek and useful. Like, it's clean cut, nothing's getting caught on corners, if that makes sense. Like, you're not gonna what's the word? You're not gonna, oh my god, why can't I think of the word? My brain is saying extinguish? Nope. Sacrifice. You're not gonna sacrifice something that could have been really useful just so it'll look a certain way. Yeah. I vote for solar punk because that looks great, it's beautiful, it's green, and it's futuristic. That's probably not relevant, but if you're building a building, solar punk all the way, 100%. Okay, anyway. Yeah. That's my contribution. But of course, this doesn't have to do with architecture. Like, if you're making a business and you're like, I don't know what business model to go with, I don't know how to market this, I don't know. You want something that feels healthy on the brain, Something that makes you feel better for it. Don't go too cheap, don't go too extravagant. Yeah. Balanced but refreshing. Balanced and refreshing. Follow your own brand. And think about longevity. Like, that's kind of the advice. Think about longevity of your decision. Something that'll be appreciated years from now. Hopefully that was helpful to someone. I am now exhausted. Like, this really tired me out. All I'm doing is flipping cards and talking, but I need another nap. Oh my god. And I've been chugging coffee this whole time. This really does take it out of you. So, if you enjoyed this reading, you can give me a tip in the down below, the Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. I have a link. You can, any amount, it's fine. anything. If anything resonated and you appreciate it and you like what I do, please and thank you. Much appreciated. Yes. Yes, sir. Hope you have a wonderful day and month and life, and spirit loves you. Yeah, that's all. So, I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.